Hello there, welcome to the long-awaited second part to the introduction to the Western Wall. We are down here at the Western Wall Plaza itself. We're going to have a look further in at the actual stones and all the different architectural things that make up the Western Wall. So follow me right now.
Okay, hi, so I'm Nathan, StartersWheel.com. I'm gonna hit like, subscribe, the little belly thingy, and share with your friends.
We're focusing on the Jewish narrative. Last time we asked the question, which is more important, Western Wall or the Temple Mount? It's a trick question. They're both part of the same continuum, but I can guarantee you 2,000 years ago, where are you definitely not going? You're not going to the Western Wall. It's not as exciting really, because you're going to the Temple Mount on top. But today it is exciting. Today it's the focal point for the Jewish religion, the focal point for Jewish people. We're going to see lots of different people coming to pray. We're also going to connect the Western Wall to 2,000 years of Jewish history. The Western Wall divided into different sections. First we're looking at this ramp up, as we said, to the Temple Mount. But it's closest to the ramp is the women's section. We're just walking past, that's the far left. And designated by all these barriers here. And on the other side of that is the men's section. It's separated like a Orthodox synagogue, or for some of you who might not be familiar with that term, temple. Today it's also separated into further separations because we're visiting around the time of the Corona crisis. So it's also separated into these different capsules so that people don't go and infect each other. You can see these women standing, peering over at the barrier onto the men's section there, because again, separated like a Orthodox synagogue. Doesn't mean to say the women aren't taking part. They're certainly taking part, and there's certainly plenty of prayer on the women's section too. And we're going to be looking at the stones of the wall themselves. So having a quick pan out to see these stones, and the different sizes of stones, and how they connect into the story. Also you see there an Israeli flag, because this is run by the state of Israel. They pay for this. As we go in further down, I'm going to walk in further to the Western Wall and see all these people here. Lots of people from all different walks of life, Jews and non-Jews. Now, mainly because we've locked down all the airports, we're looking at mainly different sub-ethnicities of Jews and how they connect to something holy like the Western Wall today. So you can see these white things around each of the capsules. We're going to walk in. First we have a look at the people. I know people like to talk about the history. I think the people are just as exciting. So you can see all different kinds of people gathered around. It's a Monday, and Monday is the time for Monday and Thursday, the time for bar mitzvah celebrations, mainly in Israel. Probably if you live outside Israel, you're used to this happening mainly on a Saturday. But for various reasons, Monday is the day. Turn down my voice a bit and listen to everybody singing. And even in the midst of COVID, life still carries on. They're still celebrating this 13-year-old's happy day. And this is the Western Wall is used today, the Western Wall Prayer Plaza, for all these celebrations of life as well. And you see here also all the different kinds of people, soldiers praying alongside, more mature persons, all different kinds of Jewish sub-ethnicities, both Jews from Eastern Europe, Jews from whose families originate from the Middle East. We're looking at the lines of stones here. The lines of stones are from different eras. The bigger stones tend to be older and from the original structure built by Herod the Great. That's around about 2,000 years ago. You can also see that each stone has a little border around it at the bottom levels, the original ones, and this was purely cosmetic. This is how Herod's buildings looked. If you go to other of Herod's buildings over the world, and there are them, they look like this too. And they're bigger stones, and they carry on all the way along the bottom of the wall. The wall itself actually extends much further along than we can see, actually into the Muslim quarter itself. And each stone is not held up by concrete, it's held up by weight alone. And further up, as you might understand, are newer stones. Also to mention, you might see little holes in the older stones. See, like there, I think holes, and those are because houses were built, especially during the Ottoman period, all the way up to the Western Wall, and they would use the wall of the Western Wall as the Eastern Wall, I suppose, of their house. So they would gouge these holes in and put in their beams. So yeah, this is the level. There's a bit of discussion about this, but most likely from the early Muslim period. The line, this very unorderly section of stones above it, most likely, there's a bit of a debate, but most likely the Ottoman period. Again, people are going to argue about that one. And we talked about this lovely, clear, well-manicured line of stones, most likely connected with my birthplace, as this is commissioned 150 years ago by a Jewish British philanthropist by the name of Moses Montefiore. You see, you saw those railings we just saw earlier. Maybe I'll go back and have a look at those in a second. That railing was where in 1967, when Israel conquered the Western Wall, they hung Israeli flag right there. Might be showing you a picture right now. Hopefully I'll get my hands on that one. So there we go. That's the different layers of history of the Western Wall. We're going to be going in a second further along as the Western Wall carries on further underneath the Muslim Quarter. Actually, you can go on the tour known as the Western Wall Tunnels tour I used to work, where you can learn about the continuation of the Western Wall. But we're looking at this arch. You can see this arch at the end that holds up a bridge where the priests, the priestly caste, the Kohanim as they're called, would walk along this bridge to work every day. This might be an arch from a later period. I'm not going to bore you with a very long argument about when this particular arch was from, but around about here there was a walk bridge for priests. Here, as we mentioned before, the boxes containing the scrolls of the law, and also, as we said, the Western Wall goes further along. It also goes further down. You look down into this pit here, and all the way down in this bit, all the way down, more Western Wall. I think this tallest is about 65 metres. So archaeologists have dug even further down, and we're digging even further down as we speak right now. In fact, the gentlemen here are standing on a kind of platform, and underneath, archaeologists have actually dug down and found a whole load of more Western Wall. And here we have the books of prayer, because as we mentioned, the primary purpose of the Western Wall today is the focal point of the Jewish people for prayer.
We just saw the Western Wall, the Kotel, the main focal point of Judaism today. As we mentioned earlier, the Western Wall extends up to the north through the tunnels, but it also extends down south. And the next video we're going to have a look at about how it extends further down south and what the structure looks like down there. If you really like this video, the best way to make sure that there are more videos is to go to my Ko-Fi account. I'm also in the process of setting up a Patreon account. That's ko-fi/Scout Israel, and you can send me a quick tip. Also remember to like, share and subscribe.